Hey y'all, I'm Aeon,
And I'm the Lioness.
and you're listening to Box number 512 podcast.
Grown Black Trans Woman Talk. Changing your world one conversation at a time.
The show begins now. Now.
All right. Hey everybody, how you doing? Listen, if you don't know who I am by now, I gotta be me. We're gonna do this. I gotta be myself, okay? If you don't know who I am by now, shame on you. Why? My name is Imani Vanzap, and I am here to help you fix your shit. So you can do what? Become stronger and better and become. I have too many taglines. I gotta edit. Anyway, I am so happy to be here, and I'm honored to be asked to sit in this chair that I am tonight as the host for the Box number 512 podcast for their 1 year anniversary. This is an honor and a privilege to be able to be here. As a personal sentiment, as far as why I am glad to be here, my nephew Eric, Samaya is his spiritual mother, and Brianna is his spiritual aunt. So that relationship has afforded many wonderful conversations and connections that have really brought it to the place to where why not have the three of us together who have spent so much time in the physical and in the spirit to celebrate, you know, what God has put together with the two of you beautiful women. So that's why I'm here. All right. The way we're going to do this, we just want to go down the line as we get into it and really just celebrate all of the highs and maybe the lows and just those times in really finding your way with your path and what you're doing, and see what that was like for these two women, and talk about that as well too. So I hope I do it justice tonight. I'm excited, and hopefully I'm worth my stay. Without further ado, we're going to turn it over to my baby here, Brianna.
Hey y'all know who this is, Aeon, and we are going to start with updates. Even though this is a 1 year anniversary episode, life is still happening. But before I get into my updates, Imani, I want to thank you for doing this. This means so much. I've been looking forward to this all week, all day, and I know we're going to have a good time. And I know our audience and our listeners are going to have a good time. So I am ready. So updates for me, I'm going to keep it quick. Okay. Not much has really changed. Work is work. This weekend I stayed in the house. I'm still on my path to trying to get vaccinated. That is a journey, but I'm hopefully the United States, the state of Virginia, will get their stuff together soon, because I really want to get vaccinated because I want to lightly travel and just have fun. I did stay in the house, but I am happy. I bought Noah's Ark or Amazon Prime, both of the seasons. I had it on iTunes, but it was on an old laptop. So it was cute buying Noah's Ark, reliving some of my childhood, and just, I like watching old stuff for the nostalgia and just thinking about where I was at that particular time. Mm-hmm. Still on my job search, still keep me lifted in your prayers.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing. My mom is in good health. My family's in good health. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to make it through another week. I'm blessed we are celebrating our year anniversary. I'm blessed that, and thank all of you all who reached out and responded for the last episode, Dysphoria on top of Dysphoria. Some beautiful things have happened as a result of our episode, and we have some new episodes in the works. So shout out to y'all who listened and really ran our numbers up fast for that last episode. And I am just happy to be here. I'm happy to reflect, and I'm going to turn it over to my sis, Samaya, aka the Lioness. Sis, what's going on with you?
Nothing much, girl. It's the Lioness on the ones and twos, giving these niggas the blues. And this is our 1 year anniversary episode, and I am ecstatic. This is such a moment. I am rejoicing. I am rejoicing in this collaboration and all the wonderful fruit that it has borne. I'm excited to be here in this moment. You know, life in general these days has its ups and downs just from the world that we're in. But what I will say is, it has been a pleasure to come and have a space to share my thoughts and ideas on the world around me and my opinions on everything. And I'm just excited to be here at our reunion. So, yes, girl. And really fast though, like I remember part of this year was also me starting new ventures, and another podcast that I started was the Lioness Still Lives podcast, the Lioness Still Lives podcast, Conversations with the Black Trans Goddess. And
Okay.
I had the privilege of having Imani Vanzap on.
Oh yeah,
We talked about your
very special
life.
conversation.
We talked about your life. We talked about your childhood. We talked about your past. And it was a wonderful episode. And from that, I really got to know you better. Now, as you stated earlier, I am quite acquainted with Eric, my
Yes,
wonderful, wonderful son, and your
he loves you.
nephew. And I know he does. And I just saw him the other day, and we had a wonderful little time. And but we were talking about you and how much you mean to the world, and how much I'm just so proud of you, and where I've seen even you, Imani, since we had our sit down, so much in your life is taken off.
Yeah.
So really fast, just can you just tell us a little bit about what's going on with Imani Van Zap these days before we get on to our reunion? I just
Yeah.
want to just yeah, enlighten us. What's going on, Imani,
Well,
Auntie?
thank you.
What's
Thank you.
going on,
I thank you for the opportunity to speak it. Basically, life has exploded right before my eyes, and in a good part of the world, it seems like. I recently got onto TikTok, and everyone and their mom was trying to tell me, Like, I've been told about doing TikTok for a good year and a half, but I didn't feel like I had a space out there. Just something about it didn't feel like it was time or that it was even purpose for me to do it. So then I finally one day talking to nephew and his little friend and decided to go ahead and do it. And we're a little over a month and we're on, I might as well change it now. We're on our way to 500,000 people that have just bought into the message of love and prosperity. Well, love and positivity. Not so much prosperity. That's not my thing. But I want people to feel good at whatever state you're in.
right?
Even if you don't feel like you have anything, I want you to find joy. You deserve joy too. Not prosperity isn't the only way to feel fulfilled. There are people in this life that may never get much of anything. They deserve to
Mm.
have joy the entire time, as much as a person gets $1,000,000. That's what
Right.
love is.
You be
And so,
dropping pearls, Auntie. You be dropping pearls. You be dropping pearls. Thank you so much.
and I'm thankful because of what's going on. Whenever I'm asked to do moments like these, I equally treasure these moments because I know that they are special and they are in the beginning stages of phenomenal things for both of us.
Yes, yes. So you took over our episode, Auntie.
You
You
ready for
took
me to take it
you
over?
took over. We are at your
Right.
mercy, lady.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
So,
Let me make sure I'm right. Hold on. Okay, there. I need more Whitney. It was
uh-huh.
King. I needed more Whitney. I need a little front back. Okay.
Right.
Now I feel good. Okay, there we go. Little the curl misbehaving. That's what I needed. All right. So again, we're just going to just talk. Be as honest as you want to. We want to celebrate, of course, but there may be times where there are some real things you need to say. And my main thing is I want everyone in my presence to always feel comfortable being honest. So I know that you've had a relationship with each other, but when you're doing a format like this, sometimes some people may be inclined to give the best answer. Don't always feel like you got to give the best answer. Give the answer that comes to your heart, and let's deal with that. It'll make it for a better conversation. That's my advice. Okay, so getting on into this, what would you say? Let's kick it off with. We'll go back to Brianna. What would you say is, starting with you, your biggest advice is to someone who wants to start a podcast? What would you tell them to look out for?
What I would say, if they want to do a podcast and it's a group of them, for me, it's been so important for somebody and I for us to be based in friendship and to be based in love. I just know that we have a habit, like we don't come on the mic if we are dealing with something between us, or there's something like, the energy has to be right, and it's more than just being in business with each other.
Mhm.
Like, our our podcast is built on the foundation of our friendship, and I want to be as authentic as possible. I don't want to set, especially, we're creating a product for our community, for Black trans women. So I know for me, it's very important to be authentic, not just in the topics that we pick and the things that we choose to talk about, but that we're authentic in our demonstration of what our sisterhood and what our friendship is. And I think we both seen so many trans women try to do like, not necessarily podcasts, but like web shows, but oftentimes I've seen them fall apart because when you don't have that friendship, when you do go through different miscommunications and different struggles, or not seeing things from eye to eye, if you don't have that friendship and if you don't have that foundation, one disagreement, you don't have that friendship to fall back on to try to get things back on track when you go through stuff. And this past year has been a process of learning my sister and her learning me in a totally different way. And we've had to give each other space to grow, to evolve, to get comfortable with each other. So I would say that if you want to do like a group podcast, it has to be based on friendship. You have to work on developing your communication skills. Also, you have to be elastic with people. We are human. We go through stuff. We might plan for stuff, but life happens, shit happens, and you have to be flexible, and you have to be understanding, and you have to know how to extend grace. So I would just say really work on your friendships, like on the mic and off of the mic as well.
Okay. Smile, how about you?
So yes, I feel like there's a certain amount of courage that I feel like first you have to embody as someone that wants to get into the podcasting world. It sounds on its surface to be the easiest thing in the world to just sit in front of a camera and espouse and talk. What you find is that in your regular life, you've never really challenged your brain to continue to have a continuous top conversation about a topic for an hour or a 2 hour time frame. So what the biggest the now Brianna and I, because of our previous background and experience, we do make it look easy. We are able to have the kind of production meetings where we're not really going very, we're able to come to each other, come up with we come up with an outline, like a schematic of what we want to talk about. And we're pretty much able to just naturally, organically do it from there. An important point beyond courage that you have to have, and why we can be so easy in how we do this, is because you have to have chemistry. I've seen a lot of podcasts now, and as I become a podcaster myself, I look at the podcasting world with a different lens.
Mhm.
All of the podcasts, in my opinion, that do the greatest, especially the ensemble cast podcasts, they do better when the people involved naturally have a communication. I've seen the podcast where they have the two opposing opinions, and even if there is a difference of opinion, and we differ on opinion on this show, there has to be that genuine connection. You have to genuinely have a respect for the other person's analysis. You genuinely have to be on a similar intelligence level. I will argue that some of the failing of some of these ensemble cast pod shows that exist out there in the space is that they have individuals that aren't necessarily on the same page with what they're trying to say. And while they're talking, we're listening to you have a miscommunication for an hour. And no one, that's cute for a while, but that's not going to sustain long term an audience. The three is prepare to be responsible for your audience. I did not know the way in which we had a responsibility to the people that follow us to show up for them and talk about certain things. So Brianna and I, when we approached this originally, it was, let's just see what this is going to do. And we're both business savvy women, so we did set it up in a way with the intent that if it did grow, it could expand, but it wasn't necessarily the focus. And so there were times where we would take like a hiatus, or we would even like not talk about an issue in community. And then we would both get in our inbox, can you talk about this? We need you to talk about this. It's important that y'all talk about this. Like, we want to hear what y'all have to say on this. And I realized that stepping into this space, especially as Black trans women and carrying that mantle of grown Black trans women talk, a lot of our constituents are Black trans women that want to hear us have this conversation. We are like.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Box number 512 podcast, Grown Black Trans Women Talk.
And don't forget to become a patron on the Box number 512 Patreon page, where we have all new exclusive content.
And also, don't forget to follow us on our social media, on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages. And also, become a subscriber on our YouTube page. Until next time, bye.